Over 50 years since the last time Kent State has claimed MAC championship glory, we look to upset the reigning champions in the Buffalo Bulls, a team we are all too familiar against. These two teams met to close out the regular season as the Golden Flashes took it 38-35. And that was a good game that on paper looks a lot closer than it ended up. Thanks to a great game by Mason Kelsey, 235 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, hitting on 73%. We held a 10-point lead late in that game. Aiden Harris had 17 carries, 97 yards, and a touchdown. Tank Hawkins, 3 carries, 80 yards, and a touchdown. And don't forget, his other 2 touchdowns receiving. The defense struggled to find plays in the backfield, but after we slowed down Shamar Riser-Presley, we were able to get our offense fully going. Not a sack nor turnover for the Bulls. But Kent State has their eyes also set at more glory here when it comes to college football playoffs. As it stands right now, Tulane has been slotted in as that 12th seed. They play against UAB for the American Conference Championship game. And if things pan out as expected, Kent State would be heading to the Game Above Sports Bowl against Wake Forest. But a win for us today might unlock that door. And for many of our players who will be leaving after this season, a lot of highly touted seniors coming in the transfer portal, perhaps some juniors, that might boost their draft value. The more players we have drafted, the more recruits we may land, and we may be landing some today. Elijah Coxey, we moved inside his top 5, inside the top 3 for Morgan Harbor, the elusive bruiser running back. He should be committing post this game. Khalil East might be as well. But one player who already has leading up to this game is Linval Iverson, the free safety hybrid. Austin Knott, a corner field archetype, might be joining him. And hopefully we'll be hearing from Bernie Boger as well, the backfield creator quarterback. But before we talk too much about the future, we head to Ford Field with a championship to win. And we are underway as Hunter will let that one through the back of the end zone. Offense out first here for Kent State, starting at the 25. And this is a group that has seen big improvement from last year. And it was last year that we saw ourselves just miss a chance at the MAC championship game. We got a chance to make up for it here today as it starts with that triple option. It's out to Harris left side. He's got a sideline to head to at the 50 and finally met out of bounds at the 49. We already talked about how big Harris was in that previous showing. He starts us off with 26. Offense plus side going back to Harris. Riser-Presley, quick tackle. He had a big impact on that previous game. Today we would like to see him have a minimal impact with a 2nd and 9. And rolling over to the right-hand side, they could have went deep to carry, and instead it will just be quarterback keep. Mason Kelsey, he gets what he can. And he sets up a 3rd and 3. Bunch look to the right-hand side here. Kelsey trying to bark out some calls there. It's a handoff to Gaines, stuffed in the gap. Though Buffalo missing their middle linebacker in Brazina. As he makes his way to the sideline, the offense is going nowhere. They stay bunch right. Kelsey in the pistol gets that hard count, though no penalty thrown. Across the middle, that's going to be Tank Hawkins. He'll work his way down inside the 30, marked down 24. Bulls had a little bit of a bump and run scheme on him there. Still able to find some space. And no one blocked the nose tackle. Rashad Perry back there quickly. Loss of 5 here for Kent State. Back to the 30. As they do look to set up a screen to the outside. A couple blockers out in front. Harris, spin move. Harris breaks the tackle and Harris scores. Harris with a trifecta on the catch and run. Sets Kent State on top here in your MAC championship game. What a play and what a way to utilize the blockers he had out in front. When you talk about needing a good start That's exactly what you saw. Kent State only one MAC championship in their history dating back to 1972. Bulls, they had one last year, as it will start with a run. Going nowhere, the former Golden Flash Gavin Garcia picks up 2. He had a couple good runs in that previous game, just was not able to get going as the pass rush gets going here early. Brenton Bush. Bulls pushed back, loss of 4, it's 3rd and 13. Blake, very accurate in their last showing. We'll see if he can find someone here, as he's got time. And eventually throws outside. Viviano, though, unable to stay in bounds. He could have had the first down there for the Bulls. Instead, they punt. Hunter cuts immediately left, has a lane back towards the right. One, almost the only one left. Cordoba misses the block, but what a return, Hunter. That sets up Kent State plus side 47. As they have a weak pistol eye here with Kelsey. Harris the back, they're looking to go on the same play they had a touchdown on. He gets a juke, not able to get by 22. A great start to the drive. They're picking up 5, opens up the playbook here for 2nd and 5. The 42, Hawkins in motion. They bite down, they're gonna get him outside. Try to pick up that block with Carrion. Let the speed go to work, and Tank Hawkins is gone again. He's scored 4 touchdowns this season on the Bulls defense. And we still have 3.5 quarters to go. It is all Kent State out the gate here in your MAC championship game. They are the favorite, though that doesn't mean that the underdogs don't typically make big plays. As Blake has all the time, he still checks down Viviano. Tellender in coverage pops it out. Ball's incomplete, 2nd and 10 then for number 10, who goes play action and takes another big hit. I believe that was the same man who had the pass break up the previous play. Tellender with back-to-back. Leaves 3rd and 10 as they look to set up their own screen. And Brenton Bush is all over it. Going nowhere and punting again. The good news for the Bulls, though, is we are not starting plus side this time at the 39. Harris in the backfield and play action his way. Throwing out right side. Hassman runs underneath it. Make that 131 yards here for Kelsey through the air already. He just let that one fly downfield, getting his team set up here at the 26, 2 spread either side. As they've got an option right over the top, broken up. Do like that matchup, however. They had Ivan Carrion, the 6'6 receiver, on a linebacker. Just happened to make a great play. This one is out to Harris, one in front. Shimmies off of him, speeding forward. He's got the first and out of bounds. Harris really didn't see much of any playing time last season. Took over this year with Gavin Garcia transferring away, and he's just taking full advantage. I think that ball did get pitched cleanly, but they're going to mark Kent State with a loss. Ball ended up being in the hands of Tank Hawkins, who looked to have space out there. Apparently refs disagree. 2nd and 14 with a whole lot of pre-snap movement here for Kent State. Got their tight end back over to the right-hand side. Motion here pre-snap. Rolling out that way. And they've got their fullback wide open. It is Bailey. You had Tank Hawkins rolling across underneath on a drag that sucked down the one defender outside. No one carried with the fullback. And it is a 21-point lead here for Kent State. And a true testament to Coach Ty. They're running the same plays they ran the last showing. The Bulls defense has not been able to slow them down. As Garcia here on the carry cuts back inside. And that was Syed Abu Hamde on the tackle. Haven't got to call his name much this year. He's dealt with injuries. A former teammate here of Gavin Garcia. Was the leader of the defense last year. There's the big hitter that the Bulls need. RPO finds Caleb Brown. First down up to the 39. Bulls trying to keep that in motion here with 2 to the left-hand side. They go right back to a action fake. This time Blake breaks the tackle. He's still going. Finally taken down. That was Rollison tracking over from the opposite side of the field. Bulls, though, not able to get the snap off. They tried to get set there before the break, but we run to the end here of the first quarter. 21-0 right now, all Kent State. Well, the Buffalo Bulls offense is pulling off their best drive yet. They need to finish. They need the end zone, because at this point, it's not looking good for them. But still, with 3 quarters to play, never say never. As we start the second quarter at the 41 here, Bulls ball as they go Garcia down the middle. He finds space, he breaks left side, he's got open field, and Gavin Garcia finally gets a touchdown on his former team. He almost had one in that previous game, fumbled inside the 5. This time, it's Buffalo Bulls on the board. Make it 21-7. Gavin Garcia, with some patient running down the middle, found the open space, and there was no looking back. And that was a play he came close to making a couple times in that regular season finale. Gonna need the offense to respond, keep this game well in hand. With a pitch outside, it's his replacement, Harris, with the ball. Little juke there, spins off another tackle. That might actually cause him to lose some forward progress. Looks like the refs mark him down at the 37. RPO outside is Tank Hawkins, cannot speed away. Oliver Bridges with a rare tackle on Tank Hawkins. Well, he's in the backfield. 2nd and 12, they go back to the screen. It's Harris with a slow turn, and that'll be another loss. After the Buffalo score, Kent State going backwards. It's 3rd and 17. Martin checks in at running back here with a single high safety and a free rusher. They're just going to keep backing up. 4th and 24. Glass with the sack. This is exactly why you say that, hey, it's never too late in these games. Bulls making their way back here. They need another touchdown drive here, though, as they do go deep downfield, out of bounds. First target on the day for McMillan. He shredded this secondary. Last week, Garcia here trying to shred the defense again. Gill with the tackle open field. And that leaves about a 3rd and medium here. 4 more needed for the Buffalo Bulls offense as they will look to go to the air. Pass across the middle is Viviano to the midfield logo. Quick hitter and keeping the offense moving here. They go hurry up. At the 49, throw is outside, all over it, Tellender. Part of that tag team transfer group at linebacker here for Kent State. He and Howard. Of course, Howard up for a whole lot of awards this off-season. We'll see if those all come to fruition. Big hit, stock still. But this is important to note. Brenton Bush, who's been on a tear second half of the season, is going to have to exit the game. He had a sack earlier in this one. We see Abu Hamde come out as an edge rusher. Never played that spot before. Doesn't mean he's not going to be great at it. With a perfect throw ball, Taylor Blake finds McMillan. He had to get that over the linebacker's head, and he did so with a beautiful arc. 1st and 10 of the 36 here. Bulls, once again, are driving. And that one caught Viviano. Tellender makes sure that it stays for a minimal gain. Averaging 7 yards per catch is Viviano, that time only for 3. Maddox with pressure, and he might have hit the quarterback a little bit late. Bit antsy for a sack. Well, that's one of the few times here this year that Kent State has been penalized. That will move the Bulls to the 16. Facing a double A gap look here. They do go a little RPO action. Gavin Garcia not able to get away. Abu Hamde with the tackle. They will stay hurry up here as we move inside. 4 minutes to go in this second quarter. With 2 to the left-hand side, McMillan lone to the right. It's Garcia, but Abu Hamde is there again. That leaves 3rd and 10 here for the Bulls. 2 to the right now with motion in Garcia. A couple stop routes across the middle, broken up. It's Howard. Bulls looking to get at least 3 more on the board here. Make this an 11-point game. And they've got it dead center, maybe slightly shaded to the right, as that's not a good sign. Jalen Thompson injured on the field goal. Good news for Kent State. It doesn't appear to be all too serious. He quickly makes his way to the sideline as the offense comes out, hoping we'll see him back out there. Kelsey, though, with a lot of pre-snap adjustments. He's got Tank Hawkins on a quick release, and no one's going to catch this man. They'll give it up to 22. He almost caught up to the 97 speed tank Hawkins. But we go one and done with the read coming in from Mason Kelsey. Saw the press coverage across the board. No safety help over the top, and if you don't get a good press on Hawkins, you're not going to stay step for step with him. And in a near blink of an eye, it goes from being an 11-point game to now an 18-point game with 3:09 to play with here in the second quarter. Passing out to the flat, here is Garcia. Open field tackle, Stockstill. He's been picked on a lot this year in some deep coverage. Doesn't have that top-end speed, but he's not afraid to put in a hit. As Tellender puts in a hit there. He straight up flattens Garcia in the gap, sends it to 3rd and 5 here. Blake with 2 to the left-hand side, 2 wide over to the right-hand side. And they had him open on that quick stop. Instead, Blake looks to scramble here, gets by the first 2 levels. With a 2-minute break hitting there, he'll have a chance to catch his breath, but a first down for the Bulls. Trips look to the right post break. Now we're going on the blitz, but a quick throw is the other side, but inaccurate. 9 of 15 today is Blake. Not the same kind of passing we saw last time. The 2 spread either side here. It's 2nd and 10. Some midfield crossers broken up, and unfortunately Harris couldn't find it in the air. Instead, they'll settle for the incompletion. The 3rd and 10 here at the 38. And it will be a handoff. Garcia taken down quickly, and a timeout comes in for Coach Ty. They want to run up this score here in the first half. Now, it will not be with a short field starting back at the 25. They got 1:40. Get that ball to the end zone or decide what else they want to do here. Rolling out and throwing this one late. Great way to just stop the clock and not lose any yards. Because once again, Hawkins in motion here. They flip it out his way. Trying to get that speed in space, but he's only got about 4 yards. Now the offense does look to go hurry up there. Want to see if they can find a quick first down. Now off coverage across the board. A little pump fake action. They've got Ivan Carrion. He's going to catch up to it at the 40. Haven't quite found him all too regularly so far in this one. But a big first down there. As they go RPO, this time it's Harris. He's going to pick up a couple as we move inside, 1 minute to go. Offense staying out there, quick back to it. With Carrion right-hand side, he's going to go in motion. They follow him. And this time throwing away, definitely inside the tackle box. That will be a penalty. Loss of down as well. If you're going to throw a ball away, 1, it's got to pass the line of scrimmage. 2, you should be outside the tackle box. And if you're not, got to throw it in somewhat of a direction of a teammate. Harris on the screen here trying to get what he can. And that leaves about a 4th and 10 with a timeout coming from the Bulls. With Kelsey 12 of 14 today, I don't think it's that big of a surprise. They stay on the field here, though not plus side. And it should have been a free play. Again, refs don't award it. They find Hawkins across the middle, and he's going to be short. That should have been a free play for the Kent State offense. Instead, now Bulls have a chance to find at least a field goal before half. But Viviano, he might be setting them up for a potential touchdown shot. This is an opportunity the Bulls cannot miss here. With 30 seconds to play, they got about 36 more yards, and they go to the run game. Garcia taking down. That clock will roll here. They do not call the timeout. Mismanagement of clock. They take it down to 4, then clock it. I'm sure you'll take this opportunity to get some points on the board, but you had chances at the end zone. Right hash here before half, and that one stays in the upright. Looked like it might have been pushed. And the Bulls, they take advantage of their opportunity. They cut the deficit to 15. 28-13 is your halftime score here. The MAC championship game. It started all Kent State. Buffalo Bulls definitely starting to get things going there in that second quarter, but they're going to need to slow down this Kent State offense. That should have had the penalty there. A free play maybe would have set up a 4th and 5 if that play did go differently. Who knows? But it's been a great game out there once again. Tank Hawkins, 2 more touchdowns against the Buffalo Bulls. And for the former Golden Flash in Gavin Garcia, he has a rushing touchdown against his former team. getting them on the board and trying to keep them in this game. Now with Taylor Blake's accuracies being a little all over the place, McMillan has yet to get going. Perhaps we should see more of Garcia as we get the second half going here. It's Buffalo ball, left side, first down, Brown. He had 4 grabs, just shy of 50 yards in that last game. That's his second one of this game. Facing the quick pressure, and it is gonna be Syed Abu-Hamdi, helping fill in for the injuries at the edge rusher spot. He's just a linebacker out there helping out his team. This is one of those stories of a guy whose spot was taken in the transfer portal, dealt with some injuries in his limited role this year, just stepping up. Get some pressure there, and that's a pick! What a play, Cordoba! Your starting slot corner diving looks to almost backhand catch this one, and immediately ends the drive of the Buffalo Bulls. And he is a player that Coach Ty is very high on. You look at his skill set on paper, it might not stand out to you, but there's some promise there. And he gives our offense the ball plus side at the 44. They start with Harris. He's got space down the middle. That'll be a Kent State first down. We'll see if they can get back to their all-over takeover on offense we saw early in this one. Play action, rolling, and it'll just be Kelsey on the keeper here, taking it for 6. I think Coach Ty's plan with Kelsey this year has been, honestly, very clean. If he cannot find an open target, don't force anything. Just let the legs carry as Bailey's going to go backwards. He had a nice touchdown earlier in this one, but now a 3rd and 8 here. As they do go RPO, that one's picked off. Talk about keeping things clean. Davis says, no, you don't. It's Bulls touchdown. Interceptions going back and forth, though. Buffalo with the better of the two. Gets them within 8 points here with a PAT. Once again, Kent State was trying to get the ball to Hawkins. They're going to have to make sure they keep themselves well in charge here with a good drive. Shaking one tackle, flipping that one outside. That is Harris, spinning by the interception artist on that previous play. We've got a first down at the 41. Looks like they're already starting to chew some clock as well. Harris right down the gut. A gash of near 20. He is 3 yards away from 100 on just 9 carries. Talk about being efficient. Over 10 yards per carry today for Harris. A phenomenal performance. Shout out to the offensive line who did not block on that play. I guess you can't have everything all of the time. 2nd and 10 following the good stop from the Bulls. As they've got an open target outside, that's going to be Hopperton with the first down. He definitely saw his play time cut at the midway point, but the last handful of weeks, the senior has stepped up. As the line needs to step up, get the interior blocking. Harris extends for 2. Bulls trying to find a way to spread out this Kent State offense. As Tank Hawkins goes in motion, they do flip it out to him late. And another great tackle open field. Looked like they wanted to go with a run down the middle, but Bulls took that away as well, leaving Kent State with a 3rd and 12 here, at least inside field goal range. Under pressure, and that ball doesn't get to Harris, who had the sideline. Oh, instead, Alano out here, right hash, and he just shoved that one well left side. Someone's getting a souvenir. He hasn't missed many this season, but that one, definitely his worst. And a great opportunity here for the Bulls. They need an 8-point play, though, to tie this game, and they passed to McMillan, who was out of bounds. But an opportunity like this rarely presents itself. Bulls with a chance to tie this game after they were down bad early. But here comes Abu-Hamdi disrupting that timing. He was a free rusher off the right side of this offensive line, setting up a quick 3rd and 10 here. Defense could very much use with a quick stop as it's thrown just into the soft spot of the coverage. Tellender sprinting back there. Did not quite get into the window. Safety sat a little bit too deep. First down here for the Bulls. Plus side. They go play action. Another crosser off the mark. Not sure if some of the early hits in this game perhaps have disrupted the shoulder motion of Blake, but definitely not the same player we saw in that last game. With another shot down the seam, overthrown. Cordoba had the underneath coverage there, but looked like perhaps that one was going to be placed pretty well. Just ended up being a little bit too high. That time it's on the money. Brown taken down by Cordoba inside the red zone. Taylor Blake starting to heat up here right when his team needs it the most. We still have a little over a quarter to play. As they go Garcia, big block on the outside. Fortunately for Kent State, does not spring Garcia. Sets up 2nd and 8, inside a minute to go here in the third quarter. Outside Viviano, taken down Tellender. And we'll see if they decide to snap that ball. Play clock running down here. Approaching 10 seconds, they do snap it with a 3rd and 1. And it looked like Howard had him, but he hesitated. And Taylor Blake makes his way to the end zone. A 2-point try away from the Bulls tying this game up and blowing up what was a 21-point lead earlier in the first half. Now we'll just have to see if they do decide to go for 2. And it looks like Blake and the offense are back out there. To tie the game here, they go 2 spread to the left with motion. This will be to Garcia, who again looked like a defender was coming down. But we are tied. We are witnessing a massive swing of momentum. As Kent State takes the field at the 21. They go with some play action. Rolling. Throwing off the mark. And that is where we head to the fourth quarter. Now, we'll say we see Kelsey, well, the defense has been out there heading to that blue tent, so there might be something going on with him. Hopefully he's able to fight through it, as this is a massive game, not only for this season, but for Kent State, as their historic wins in the MAC have not been all too great. Only 1 conference title, and it did come way back when, though there was a future NFL Hall of Famer on that team. And a pitch outside here to Harris will kick us off in the fourth with a first down. I think that's the man they're going to need to carry him throughout the remainder of this game. Harris has been phenomenal. As this time it's pitched, it's back to Bailey, the fullback, sitting about 10 yards deep. I like changing up the triple option there, but perhaps make sure your fullback isn't standing where he can't get back to the line of scrimmage. And they're going to quickly get this one out to Hawkins, almost just a pure play meant for him. Darren Reed Jr., Buffalo Bulls defensive player, down on the play. Tank Hawkins, though, does make it manageable. 3rd and 5 of the 36. Safety does walk down over on the left-hand side. Kelsey barking out a few calls out there. Carrying now in motion right-hand side. They will look his way as he's got all the green grass with Tank Hawkins going deep downfield. Taken out of bounds about the 45. Plus side now here for Kent State, as they'll have an option underneath. Hawkins with a good grab. There'll be a shorter gain on it. Safety coming down, keeps it to just 3. As they snap that ball, they're looking for Harris here. Good stuff, 5. That does have you with another 3rd and 6 here. This is the outside range here of Alana, who missed his last one pretty badly. Kelsey stepping up. He weaves through this defense. He's got the first down, shaking a tackle and inside the 25. Whatever appears to be bothering him, he's trying to shake it off here for his squad. 3 hands down in the backfield. They go play action. Rolling. Throwing to Hopperton. It's picked off. It was a jump ball. Bad angle. Here comes Gaines to get the tackle, as the same player injured twice on the play. But it is Buffalo ball in a tied game here, inside 5 minutes to go. Bulls trying to pull off the comeback here. They go Garcia, and he opens the door as Gill steps too far inside, slips him again. And finally Gill pushes him out, but it's about 30 some odd yards downfield. They're now inside field goal range. Back to Garcia, and that left side is just opening up. Now, good news for Kent State is Bush is back out there. They are still missing Jalen Thompson. Haven't seen him since halftime. Big tackle there, Gill, for a loss. He was a playmaker for this defense in the mid part of the season, forcing turnovers. We could use with him making a big play here late. 2nd and 14, and this will be a free play. Blake bailing back, throwing downfield. It's caught. Viviano slipping the tackle, and it is Buffalo into the end zone. On a free play, they can decline the penalty and take the lead. That is an absolute collapse here by Kent State in the second half. This game was entirely in their control. Now they're going to have to make some big plays here late. They start with Hawkins, 1st down, and they will go hurry up. We have not seen them go hurry up in quite some time. They've been chewing clock instead. But now they need a touchdown at least to tie here. Kelsey steps up, he fires, he's got Carrion. 1st down by the midfield logo, and they're going to keep on marching here. Bunch moves over to the right-hand side this time. Tank Hawkins to the left. And once again, they will go Hawkins. Throw, though, slows him down. It looked like he had the step. They'll take a gain of 4 here, and throwing that one incomplete. And you are now facing a 3rd and 6 here. Oh, 4 down territory. The 2:25 on that clock. Arian, short motion over on the right-hand side. A little pump fake action. Throwing this time outside. Carrion with a little sideline space. He's out at the 25. Kent State close to tying this game up. They look for Taylor, who can't hold on. Actually checked that might have been Hassman, perhaps. Didn't look like it was the tight end upon second look. Triple option, flipping this one out. It's to Hawkins. He's got a block downfield. Inside the 10 goes 10. And that should take us to the 2-minute break. You got to at least tie this game up here. Once again, Harris keeps. He cuts inside. He's got the lane to the end zone. Kent State needed to respond here late. They tied this game with a point after. 35-35, less than 2 minutes to go, and the cameraman missed what I can only assume was the worm. And with 1:57, the Bulls take the field on offense. We could use with some big plays defensively here. Get that ball back. Let us take the win. Throw is outside and going nowhere. Clean tackle, open field. There was Gill. We've seen him kind of get slipped a little bit here. He's playing a little bit flat-footed. Now's the time to turn things up, as there's plenty of time here for Taylor to throw, and he's got his man. Tellender looked to be right place, right time, but he just was not able to find the ball in the air. Bulls 1st down. Keeps their hope of trying to find a field goal for the win here alive, though I'm sure they would also take a touchdown. Viviano quick across the middle, though marked short. That will keep the clock moving here. It looks like the defense changing up their calls as well. Trips look to the left-hand side. Taylor with time. Dancing around in the pocket. He throws short. And a timeout called by Buffalo. They might regret that. Looked like Coach Ty was about to call a timeout there. Buffalo with 2 more remaining. They need a play, but wide open across the middle. They are driving here. And now we see Coach Ty call his timeout. 35-35 with 1:05 on the clock. Bulls down at the 24. As they send a 6-man rush, and Rollison looked like, again, defense is in the right spot. They're just not making the play, and McMillan, who's been shut down all day long, once again puts the Buffalo Bills in front. And we're going to have to once again see Kent State drive down the field here in less time to tie this game. Hawkins in motion. They throw out his way late. A couple more blockers in front, but it's only a gain of 5. They're going to have to get back to it here quickly. That clock inside 50 seconds. They do have a couple timeouts that they could use when they choose to. As the check down here goes to Bailey. 1st down with the fullback. And hurry up to follow as they look to get the offense set up here. Keeping with the same look. Safeties sitting deep, but press coverage on the outside. Harris barking out a few calls. as he lets this one rip. Tank Hawkins separates, and we've got a tie ball game. You put press on the outside, you are begging for us to go deep to Tank Hawkins. And gotta give credit there to Mason Kelsey as well. That deep ball arm has vastly improved this season. Now your only worry is that perhaps you might have scored a little too early, leaving 27 seconds for Buffalo. Each team has a couple timeouts as there is some pressure, and Brown catches it. He's going again. Gill speeds over, and he will not deny Brown. One play, and I think we have a commentator curse. Bulls back in front. It's a scoring bonanza here late. Britton Bush nearly had the sack. 2 DBs were back there, should have broken that one up, if not intercepted it, let alone see Brown sprint downfield and inside the 5, a nasty stiff arm on Gill. And with now even less time on the clock, you got to find something here. You need the end zone. 16 seconds. They start with an empty set. And throwing into a soft window, finding his man, and a timeout is called. And that might just be one of the best throws we have seen from Mason Kelsey. I believe that was Rodgers on the catch. He's going to be over left-hand side. 11 seconds to go here. You got to find something. Another soft spot, but it's overthrown. And that will be your ball game. An absolute blunder in the second half here, as there is not enough time to get that ball back. Buffalo makes it back-to-back MAC championship seasons. Kent State was the favorite in this one. They were up 21-0 in the first half. And then throughout the second quarter and the third quarter, they were almost entirely denied. Taylor Blake came alive, and this an out-of-this-world play from Brown there late. What should have been an interception ball turns into the game-winning touchdown. A really good throw there late as well coming from Kelsey. Found Rodgers. The next throw just a bit too high for carrying on what almost was the same type of play. But it is still good enough to at least get one recruit coming in. Morgan Harbor from Zionsville, Indiana is headed to Kent State. But that was just a massive blown opportunity. You look at this game where you put up 21 in the first quarter. You only get 7 there in the second. You don't put anything up in the third. 14 in the fourth. But it was almost a reversal for the Buffalo Bulls. They scored 13 in the second, 15 in the third, and 21 in the fourth. They got better as the game went along, and you could say arguably that we got worse as the game went along. And a massive bit of that goes to the fact that Buffalo took away one of our best players. Tank Hawkins really did not have a huge effect in that second half. We hit on that deep ball, which was great, but in terms of keeping drives alive, we were not really able to. Hawkins wasn't getting the big plays on the outside. He was stopped more often than not. Maybe he was picking up about 5, but then at that point, we weren't really able to do anything. And that's really bad because he had 227 yards, 3 touchdowns. That was through the air. And then he also had 21 more yards on the ground. Harris was over 100 yards. Kelsey, will say he did get a bit banged up in this one. He didn't have the speed. He was missing some of his throw on the run accuracies. And that just kind of ended up turning into a snowball effect. If we didn't have some of that negative effect on perhaps that throw on the run, we would have hit that pass to Carrion. It wouldn't have been the game-sealing interception, and perhaps we would have went to overtime if we were able to find the end zone. But also, the defense fell apart in that second half. We were missing plays. We had a player there, and they just didn't get the job done. We should have got a interception. I feel like at least a pass breakup on that Brown touchdown there late. We weren't really getting steady pass rush at all. We hit one early with Bush. Abu Hamde had to step in and help out that rotation, and he did get a sack there in the second half, but we got no rush down the middle, and we just were not making plays here defensively like we expect. And moving forward, that means there is no chance we make it to the college football playoffs. Tulane actually moved up to number 11. Jumping in at 12 now is Clemson. So if we did win that game, there was a chance that we make it to the college football playoffs. For realism's sakes, though, I am glad that we didn't here. Season 2, we are not there yet. And I don't think we're to the point yet that we look to move conferences. We need to win the MAC first. But I think next season, we will look to perhaps add a few more Big Ten and ACC schools to our schedule and get a good comparison of where we're at. And speaking of where we're at, it will be the Game Above Sports Bowl taking on Wake Forest. As long as we don't lose that one as well, we should be ending the year here as a ranked team. And for Kent State, it's still a massive year. There's just a little bit of that sour taste in the back as we did not win the MAC title. Before Coach Ty, it actually has some big schools looking his way. Arkansas, and you got to remember, he is from Arkansas. They're asking him to go be a head coach over there. Obviously not going to take it, but that is some big props. DC offer for Florida State, offensive coordinator for Georgia Tech as well as Iowa, but we are sticking here with our boys, the Golden Flash. Next time, we'll look to see Coach Ty win his first bowl game, something we did not manage last season after going 7-6. Still a great year, 11-2. We're going to see in the offseason how many players look to leave, whether graduate, transfer, perhaps even get a couple players drafted. Make sure you're here for it all by hitting that bear icon in the bottom right or scroll down, hit the sub button, and tap that bell icon if you have not already. And after giving up so many points there in the second half, perhaps the boys also need a little bit of encouragement. Leave them a like as well. And if you're enjoying this series and you know someone else who might as well, why don't you share it with them and help grow the exposure here for Kent State in this series? Because we all know that recruiting can very much use some help in those ratings. But we will see you next time on Wednesday for our bowl game, which means on Friday we should be having our live stream for the off season.